social media check-in. What do we got, guys?
Okay, Margaret Taylor on Facebook asks, can I file for an employee?
Sometimes, depends on the situation, but yeah.
Barclay Prince on Facebook, if I applied for asylum in the United States with the help of a lawyer who is not from the US, will it hurt my case?
No, but I hope that lawyer who is not from the US knows what he or she is doing.
Okay, Aria Knights on Facebook asks, is it wise to submit a medical with my adjustment of status application, or should I wait until I have a new interview date?
You can do it with the initial adjustment application, but it's not required. I suggest wait until the time of the interview, because if you do it and it expires, you're going to have to do it a second time.
Bassam Amda on Facebook, during my citizenship interview, do I have to explain if I have a traffic ticket for a speeding infraction costing more than $1,000
Yes.
that I have not been able to pay off yet?
Yes.
Okay, Alvarado Fernandez on Facebook asks, what are my options in regarding to becoming legal in the U.S. if I overstayed on my tourist visa?
Call 1-800-529-5465. That is, solve all of your immigration questions knowing nothing about you.
Back.
What is all my options for getting a green card? I don't even know where you're from.
Fitzgerald on YouTube, is it true that the public charge now applies nationwide, or are New York, Connecticut, and Vermont still exempt from it?
Nope, it's nationwide now.
Okay, Scott Grant on YouTube asks, can I file my I-751 online?
If they accept it online, I don't remember if they accept it online, but if not, then just print it out and then mail it in.
AJ on YouTube, does USCIS ask about credit or bankruptcy when filing the I-751?
No, but they do it under the new public charge provisions on that 944.
Okay, Corrine Powell on Facebook is asking, is 4 months before my work permit expires too soon to reapply for it?
No, perfect time.
And Yadi Yalid on Instagram, what form should I use to file my adjustment of status?
I-45.
Abdullah Razak on YouTube asks, as a green card holder, can I file for my parents and siblings to live permanently in the U.S.?
No, you can't. You got to be a citizen.
Moya Douglas on Facebook, if I am in the IR1 category and my I-130 is out of processing time, what can I do?
Call up the service center and find out what's going on. If you don't get a satisfactory result, then come to a lawyer, and the lawyer may want to threaten a mandamus.
Okay, at Ali786 Shah on IG is asking, when will I be able to get my green card if I still have yet to get an interview and I've now dated out of my time frame?
How would I know when he's going to get his interview and he's out of his time frame? I know the law. So if you ask me a legal question, I can tell you. If you're asking me, Brad, what does the future hold for me? When will this happen? I don't know when it's going to happen. I have no idea when immigration's going to mail you a notice for an interview.
I feel like if anybody has a question like that, it's pretty much out of desperation, which means that you probably should just call and get a consultation, or else he's going to bring this out.
Or I'm going to pull out the magic 8-ball on next question like that.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, the next one comes from Gentlemen on YouTube. If it has been 10 months since I filed my I-130 and my case is now processing, is the Texas Service Center or Vermont Service Center better, faster?
I don't think it makes much of a difference. They're all slow.
Okay, Zach Latif Rahman on Facebook asks, if a wife is going to apply for citizenship for her husband who is currently undocumented, will his status affect her own application and citizenship interview?
No. If you tell the truth, it's perfectly okay to be married to someone who's undocumented, file for your citizenship, tell the truth about your undocumented spouse, and still become a citizen. There's no law anywhere that says you fell in love with somebody who's not documented, you can't become a citizen. That law doesn't exist.
Okay, the next one comes from Yayi_Seka on Instagram. If I want to file for my husband, but we don't have a marriage certificate, how can I prove our marriage is a bona fide marriage, bring him to the U.S.?
You can't even prove it's a legal marriage. So if you don't have a marriage certificate, how do you prove you're legally married? You need to have a marriage certificate. So if you got married legally, some government somewhere has to have a certificate. Got to apply for it and get it.
Okay, Charmaine Stevenson on Facebook asks, what's the cost of naturalization for a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old if they both already have U.S. passports?
What is the what of the what?
What's the cost of naturalization for a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old if they both already have U.S. passports?
Why do they need to naturalize if they have U.S. passports? Probably a certificate of citizenship. It's my guess. And you're asking me for a filing fee. By the way, the filing fees are going up. But what you want to do is an N600, not a naturalization. And the filing fee is $1,170. But guess what? That's going to go up even more than what that is right now.
All right.
Garnett Collins on Facebook. Is the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica scheduling interviews for immigrant visas yet?
They should be, yes.
Okay, Jenny Mark on YouTube asks, if someone has a conditional yearly renewal permit, reapplied and got rejected, will that person get deported?
Depends why they were renewing their. It depends why they were renewing their work permit, and now why the work permit's rejected or denied, which means that whatever that underlying application that you were getting that work permit for was denied, which means most likely you're now out of status, which means possible you could be in trouble. It's possible. I don't know enough about your case.
Sambra Rants DeCall on Facebook. How can I apply for a U.S. green card?
One 800-529-5465.
5465.
Ahmed Forza on YouTube asks, how long does it take to hear from the USCIS after submitting the RFE response?
It's supposed to be 4 months or less, but who knows these days.
Okay, A King's Mind Reacts on YouTube. I was found inadmissible for 5 years, and it's been over a year now. Is it possible
I think that was Chris. We
US?
spoke with Chris. That was Chris who called from Kingston.
Okay, so the next one comes from Carmel Love God. On YouTube, can a child's adult citizen sponsor their deported parents to come back to the USA?
Yes, but it depends on why they were deported, whether or not they will be able to come back. If they were just deported because they overstayed their time here, and it's more than 10 years, they can come back and just need a 212 waiver. If they were deported for some misrepresentation or a criminal issue, then they can't get a waiver through you. So the answer is no. So it depends on the reason why they were deported.
Okay, Nikki Tria on Facebook asks, my husband applied for my I-485 in May of 2018. We separated before the interview date, December 2018, because of his violent ways. So I applied for VAWA in November 2018. In August 2020, I got my EAD, but no approval letter. So is this normal?
Yes,
and also,
it's taken
when I get
way long. It's taking 2+ years. So very normal.
Okay, and when I get the approval letter estimating, how long after I write USCIS to reopen my I-485 would I get an interview date?
You got to wait for the I-360 to get approved first, and then write them, and it'll be about 9 months.
Awesome. Thanks.
Islamic Master King on YouTube. If I was given a 10-year bar, is there any way I can ever re-enter the U.S.?
Depends why you were given the bar.
Okay, Arshpreet Tour on YouTube asks, if I'm residing in India and my father, who is a U.S. citizen, sponsored me in 2009 and the case was approved in 2010, but my father passed away in 2012, what do I do?
You can have a family member step in. So if you have another close family member and you can show humanitarian reasons, that family member can step in and complete the case.
Basma Temim on YouTube. I am American and I want to adopt my nephew. He is in Iraq. His father has passed away. His mother got married and he is now 13 years old. How should I do that?
Sounds like he's an orphan. You got to make sure that the mother gets stripped of her parental rights in Iraq because the mother's still alive. And that's not the mother consents to an adoption. That is some civil authority in Iraq strips the mother of her parental rights because she's a bad mother. And then there's no father. Or maybe she's a good mother but just can't care for this child because she doesn't have any money. And now that there's no mother and no father, then you can start the process of doing a pre-adoption in the state where you live, which is go to the court where you live and ask a judge to say, hey, if I bring this child from Iraq to the United States, will you approve an adoption? And the judge will say, hopefully yes, and give you what's called an approved pre-adoption. And then you have to file the I-600 for an orphan petition for the child to come to the United States, do an adoption here in America. That's how it would happen. All before he's 16. All before he's 16.
Okay. Sylvester Garvin on YouTube asked, if I filed a family-based petition in 2018 and got interviewed and I'm yet to get my green card, what could be taking so long?
Well, security checks. There's a question on whether you're eligible for a green card. Nobody's bothering looking at your case. Bureaucracy. But I know how to solve it. You file a mandamus.
Sabrina Woodard on YouTube. If my children were minors when I applied for their I-360s, but one is 19 now, the other one is 18, do I file 3 different I-485 applications for each of us?
Yes.
Okay, last one for now. Linda Hanna on Facebook asked, my asylum was approved in 2015 and I applied for my green card in 2017, but was approved in 2018. It was backdated in 2017. So can I apply for my citizenship yet? I feel like they should backdate it to 2016 instead of 2017.
It's whenever your adjustment was approved. That's when you're a lawful resident, and then you got to wait 5 years. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.